All right. Lots of yeses, lots of yes. Lots of here ready to go and learn something great. All right, I really appreciate this. So let me just start by saying I'm going to use my notes today. And the reason I'm going to do that is what we're going to discuss is way too important for me to wing it. And I haven't spent the last 6 months memorizing or practicing the script like I would normally if I was using it for lead gen. So if you see me referring to my notes a lot, I apologize, but that's what I'm going to do. So first of all, welcome to the MAPS Intro to Language of Sales. I'm really glad you're here. I'm really excited about what we're about to do. And of course, I'm passionate about language of sales, so I'm glad you're here. So let me just offer you a thought. We're going to be together for 30 to 45 minutes, okay? I know they told you an hour probably, but 30 to 45 at the most. Play full out for the next 30 to 45 minutes. I know I was looking at who's here already. I know we've got OPs, team leaders, some of the top agents in the company. I know there's a lot of great people here, and I know we tend to think, I already know this stuff. I don't need to pay attention. I'm just getting the information from my agents or something. I'm going to ask you to play full out also. Be in this as someone that wants to learn, and you'll get a lot out of it, and you can apply that to the people that we're all helping to grow and share with. So first of all, think about that, playing full out, okay? If you're an agent, be the agent right now that you should be so that you can become the agent you want to be. If you're a team leader, an OP, a MAPS coach, a productivity coach, any role that you have, the MCAs that are on the line, play full out with me just for this short period of time. So I want you to know we're going to have fun. I'm going to share a lot, and some things I say are going to really trigger your thoughts, and when that happens, please write it down. In fact, make sure right now that you have a blank piece of paper in front of you so that you can write things down as we go. So here's what you can expect from our time together today. Quickly, I'm just going to tell you who I am. Then I'm going to share my experience with language of sales to give you an idea why I'm so excited about teaching it. Then I'm going to teach you one of the techniques that's really powerful that you can start using right now to help you make more money. And I hope that sounds good to everybody. And then I'm going to share a code with you for if you or someone in your office would like to join us for the next 12-week session that starts January 10th. So even if you decide not to do it, you're going to get something out of this conversation today. And of course, if you decide to do it, you're going to get a lot out of this conversation today. So first of all, my name is Ron Wexler. I'm an agent, a MAPS coach. I've been an agent for over 35 years. I've been a MAPS coach for about 13 years. I've been coaching agents probably about 20 years. I have a team that this year will close around 230 transactions, about 50 million. I'm in Chicago, which, by the way, if you have referrals for Chicago, I have an active team. We'd love to handle them and do a great job for you. We cover the whole Chicago area. I've done just about every function that there is. I own an office, so I'm a OP. I had the team leader role every time I was poor at hiring team leaders. I've been the broker. I've had just about every role you could have, and of course been an agent for a really long time. So when I came by language of sales, it really had a big value to me. The other person who's going to be teaching the course with me is Kate Patulski, and I'm not sure if everyone knows who she is. You all should. She is an incredible trainer, an incredible coach. She's also owned real estate offices. She's been a top agent. I'll give you an idea. She is the coach of the coaches at Keller Williams. She's one of the head coaches. So her job is teaching the coaches how to have a better life and how to help you have a better life. So when I get to teach with Kate, sometimes I just sit back and take as many notes as the people that are in the audience do. So Kate is my partner in teaching this course, and you're going to love her. And if you decide to work with us, you'll get a lot out of it. I'm just making sure I'm on track here. All right, so why language of sales? I've coached and I've done other coaching programs, and when Diana asked me if I would do this course, be a facilitator of language of sales, I was so excited. And I was like, Diana, it's always been my favorite class. And anybody who knows me knows that I've always told people, take language of sales, long before I was involved in teaching it. And it's because of the value it added to my life when I took it the first time. and the second time, and the third time. And it was funny because I said to Diana, when she asked me, I said, I love this class. And I have to tell you something. The first time I took it, it was a 6-month course. And at the end of the 6 months, I took it again. And at the end of that 6 months, I took it again. 18 straight months of doing what they teach in this class. Why do you think I did that? My business exploded. I was already a good salesman. I was already selling probably 70, 80 houses a year. All of a sudden, it went to 100, 130, 150. My sales went crazy. And what's really exciting is the amount of time I had to put in to make those sales actually went down. So I became more efficient, and I've always been about less hours, more income. I hope that's you too. And so the funniest thing is Diana started laughing, and I said, "What? Why is that? I don't think it's that funny." She said, "I had the same experience." She said, "I took it for 24 straight months." So she had that same reaction, and the truth is most of the top agents in our company have that same response to language of sales when they're first introduced to it. They either take it over and over, or I was actually with Lance Loken last night, who's one of the top agents in the company, and he was telling me that his whole team takes it, and he was getting ready for this next, to sign up for this next course. So believe me, if guys like him who are selling, 1,700 units a year, make everyone on their team take this course over and over again, there's value to it, and top agents pretty much always see that value. So the goal for today is to basically to learn about how to play full out, get the most out of your time. And what I'd like you to do right now is look around you. Are there a lot of distractions? Are you texting on your phone? Are you playing on your computer? Just back off of all of that for 30 minutes, and I promise you will get a ton of value out of this conversation. So our goal with Language of Sales is to become more influential, right? With our prospects, with our clients, with our staff, with everyone. Believe me, go use it on your spouse and your kids. Use these language patterns and the things you learn in Language of Sales. You become a much, much better communicator. And we all know the better we communicate, the higher the results are, whether it's relationships or business. So the goal is to take your career to the next level, right? It's to cause others to act. As a salesperson, you want to get other people to do things. You want to get other people who are kind of on the fence to make a decision. And we don't even care sometimes what decision they make. We just want them to make a decision, right? Do something. When you use Language of Sales techniques, you're going to find that people act more, act faster. They're more decisive. They feel more comfortable actually making decisions. And honestly, for me, it's just helped me live a better life. I'm not saying it gave me my life. I was already I thought I was doing pretty well already. I'm just saying that it helps enhance what's already there and helps you grow the next level. So I'm going to share some strategies allowing you to become more effective in your ability to influence your prospects, your clients, your staff. Naturally, the fact that you decided to join the session illustrates your belief that possessing an ability to influence will allow you to take your career to the next level. So think about this. Have you ever noticed some people just naturally have others listen to them at a higher level than others? Have you noticed when Diana, who's incredible using Language of Sales, starts to talk, everyone, 10,000 people sitting in the audience are quiet? Have you noticed even her videos in bold, if you've taken bold, everybody really stops whatever they're doing and focuses on Diana. She's steeped in Language of Sales. She's influential and powerful. That's what we want for all of you. Sometimes it feels like people, are they blessed with that? Is that just natural? Do they have the force? What is it? Why do they command this? Some people have a natural magnetism. I'll agree to that. And pretty much I feel like the rest of us, it's a learned behavior. It's a way to learn how to speak. And when you do that, you can become more influential. So they know how to communicate with people in a way that causes them to feel good about making decisions and about taking action. People will make us feel this way. People who make us feel this way are more fun to be around. They make us want to do better, learn more. There's a reason, Gary Keller mentions a book from the stage. We all run out and buy that book. I feel like he can make instant bestsellers, right? We want to be that influential. So my intention today is to provide an experience that will allow you to really make some money right now, right? It's the end of the year. What if we can help you just put a few more transactions together, get a few more yeses, get a few more pieces of positive feedback so that you're moving forward Don't back off or slow down. I know it's the end of this year and it's that time when people kind of slow down and they're taking a break. And honestly, it's any time of year. Sometimes we can tend to get a little complacent. Step it up. This is a great time to do it. You're going to be seeing a lot of people over the next few weeks. Become more influential in dealing with them. So on a blank piece of paper in front of you, I want you to just take a second. We're not going to take a long time, but write down your definition of influence. How do you see influence? I'm just going to be quiet for a second. Write down your definition of influence. Okay, I'm going fast, so I hope you're writing fast. Now, what do you believe will happen when you become a person of more influence? Just write down a few words or a few things. In fact, if people want to type them in the question bar, that's fine too. What do you think will happen for you when you become more influential with others? Great. Yeah, someone shared financial stability, right? It's not the ups and downs. It has to do with our mood and how we act every day. Confidence, great one, right? You're more confident. If you know that you're going to get better results, you're going to be a better leader. We all want to be leaders, whether it's in our family, our business, leading our clients, leading our teams, leading offices. I hope you all aspire to, be in leadership within Keller Williams at some level, or to have a bigger expansion team. You can't do that if you're not very powerful or if you're not influential. Yeah, freedom, right? Someone typed in the word freedom. Absolutely, there's a lot more freedom. Becoming a great closer, yeah, I appreciate that too, right? So understand, there's so much that comes to you when you're a person of influence. So here's the definition, right? Influence is the capacity or power of a person to be a compelling force on or produce effects on the action, behaviors, and opinions of others, right? I'm sure you didn't write that, but hopefully it's something along those lines. So as we work in the MAPS Language of Sales program, we focus on utilizing language patterns as a way to influence others and allow them to move closer to their goals and objectives. And so keep in mind, you can't influence something that you don't understand. Influencing, I just want to cover, two things. At the end, I'm going to share with you how you can sign up. I'm also going to give you a discount code. So if you choose to join us, you can actually save some money, although you'll have to act before Christmas, just so you know. All right. So influencing for good, right? I'm not talking about using your power for something bad. As you become more powerful in communication, you can take it either way. The goal is that we're presupposing you're going to use this power, for lack of a better word, for good. And that you ask a lot of questions to truly understand other people's goals, and then you're using your skills to help them get to their goals. You're helping them get away from the buyer's remorse or the reluctance to sign a listing or to buy a certain house or to meet with you. By being influential, you're not forcing them to do something they don't want to do. You're helping them move towards what it is they want. We are nothing except a force for good in this world, right? So just understand, we're not talking about manipulation, right? Manipulation is defined as exerting shrewd or devious influence, especially for one's own advantage. It's for an advantage. It's the advantage that goes to them, right? And Diana teaches us all the time that the more people we help, the more we're going to get what we want, right? We've heard various versions of that quote. So again, take a moment in your notes and just write down someone who's influential in your life. Just write down a name. And again, if people want to type it in the box, that's fine too. And then think about this, or even write this down. What causes that person to have influence over you, or for you to see them as influential? What is it about them that makes you think that way? Just take a second. Someone typed in Mark Cuban. Well, what is it about Mark Cuban? Like, why is he influential to you? So if you are like me, what you'll notice is that the people that are influential in your life are people you trust, respect, admire. You clearly trust, respect, and admire characteristics of who they are. It's usually in relationships you built over time. You know, in a sales relationship, you may not have the luxury of time, and so you must learn techniques that allow you to build rapport quickly, utilizing language skills. You don't have time to build up this great trust or relationship over time. They need to make a decision fast, right? So using the right language patterns helps make things happen at a higher speed. So MAPS Language of Sales is a method of influencing the brain's behavior through the use of your language. I'm just letting that sink in for a second. You're influencing other people's brain through the use of language. The utilization of language patterns, which is a lot of what we teach in MAPS Language of Sales, is also going to help move people forward. It's going to help them reach their goals and objectives. And again, not yours, although if your objective is to buy a house and I sell you one, it's going to move me towards my objectives, obviously. We help enough people get what they want, we get what we want. So let's look at some facts about communication. You know, if you've been through the Keller Williams Bold class, then you understand as human beings we have about 2 million bits of information and data around us at all times, right? Even you looking at your screen and seeing me right now, you might be noticing cars going by or what's in the background or me keep scratching my nose, right? There's all kinds of information all around you right now, not just what's on the screen. And you only process a small piece of those 2 million bits, we say 134 of that information. So when we know that that's true, we can clearly see why no two people ever experience anything the same. Even two people who, you know, even identical twins don't experience the world the same because they're not in the same body. So they're not seeing through the exact same point of view and they're not seeing the world exactly the same way. You know, Diana shares this in Bold all the time. And so basically what it tells us is we've got to be able to communicate with people how and where they are, not how and where we are. And so the agents that possess the most flexibility of behavior will always control the market, because if you can be with people as they are, they're going to be compelled to work with you and listen to you. So, you know, research has also shown that we hear about 450 words in a minute. So we actually process 17 to 25% of what we hear. So we hear information based on habitual programs or filters that we operate from. You pick out certain things and hear that and completely miss others. That's why the whole world can look at what's going on, and I'm not being political, but imagine everybody in our country is looking at what's going on in politics right now, and there's this divide right down the middle almost, that half the people see what's happening one way, half the people see what's happening a completely different way. I mean, how can that be? It's only happening one way, isn't it? And yet we all see it a little bit different. So if you can go be with people where they are and how they are, then you're going to have more influence than if you're a counter to their reality or their belief. So without even thinking, you realize that if your listener only hears 76 to 112 of the 450 words that you're saying every minute, much of the listening is filtered through their view of the world and past experience. You must become more effective in your use of language, causing them to choose you, work with you, hire you, join your team, come play Keller Williams with you. When it comes to your kids, it's like, you know, being nice, getting in the car when it's time to go, whatever it is, right? When you can start where people are, you'll bring them to where you're headed. So you get the point. If you don't do this, then you'll only connect with a limited number of people who have a similar point of view to you. You know, I love, there's a quote from Michael Jordan that I always got a kick out of, and someone said to him, "Why don't we know your politics? You know, you're never involved in a political cause. You're very, until recently, I think it was the very first time he ever said anything political in his whole public life." And he said, "Republicans and Democrats both wear Nikes," right? He got that. And so he just stayed out of that conversation. He knew that, you know, he's going to lose half the people trying to, you know, he's being you, going into a situation, going into a listing appointment and be like, "This is how I am," is going to cost you. going to a listing appointment going, I wonder how you are. Let me get on your side of the table and be with you. Imagine the difference that you have. Just that one little nugget should make a difference for you if you're thinking this way. So master your language skills. Increase your closed transactions and market share. And the way I think of language of sales is it just helped me get more yeses. I knew what questions I needed answered. Can I come over tomorrow at 3 or would 4 be better? I needed yeses to those. I needed times. I needed people to make decisions. And getting better at language of sales gets more people to give me yes. And I just think, we call it a yes set. I love yeses. So for today's purpose, I'm going to just share an influence strategy that you can apply right now to your business, to your family, to your communication. And whether you come play language of sales with us or not, if you focus for the next few minutes on what I'm sharing with you, you're going to get a ton out of this. So this strategy is called social proof. And you know what's funny, as I was writing this, I realized a lot of times I'm using social proof in every time well, you'll see. You're going to love this. So social proof is a filter that we use to determine if we agree with something or not, or if we're going to go along with something or not. So people often view behavior, make decisions, and say things are correct or incorrect based on the degree of other people who also believe in that way of being or that thing. So in other words, if others believe something is true, we accept its truth more easily. So this factor, and this is something that's in your brain, you're not thinking this way, it just happens automatically. So that factor of influence is applicable whether we're deciding what to do with an empty tray of food, which I'm going to share a little bit about, or whether you attend an event or take a class, or the things that you do, use a different service or not another service. People use the filter social proof, so let's talk about how you can understand that and use it in your communication. So when you use it, you create influence with a prospect by informing him or her that many other individuals, perhaps people they hold in high regard, have displayed the desire, the behavior that you're seeking. So just, it's funny, but I would literally say, Mark Cuban loves this class. And if you said to me, Mark Cuban's influential to you, you might say, well, maybe I should take this class. Putting it really simply, that's what social proof is. So we're going to work on this a little bit so you'll understand it. Internalizing how other people make decisions is how you get better, and social proof is one of those ways that you can do it. So there's 2 conditions under which social proof has a really powerful effect. One is when people are in the mindset of uncertainty, and the other one is when they're searching for similarity. So uncertainty is when people are unsure of a situation, there's ambiguity, they are more likely to observe the behavior of others and accept that behavior as correct. And the example I like to use is if you're, say, in a concierge lounge at a hotel, and at the end of the meal, they have snacks, and at the end of the snacks, everybody always looks around to see if they should just leave their plates and get up and leave, or if they should put them on the tray that the servers usually put them on. And people look around to see what others are doing, and then they'll do what they do. So if the person sitting next to you just gets up and leaves, you'll think, oh, okay, I can just get up and leave. I guess the people who clean the room are going to do this. And if the person next to you picks up their plate and puts it on the cart, you think, oh, maybe I should put it over there on the tray or on the cart. So that's basically a social proof. You're looking for some evidence around you. It's what we call peer pressure with our kids, right? Our kids do it all the time. When their friend does something dumb, depending on how well we've trained them, they'll do something dumb. It's social proof that it must be okay because my buddies are doing it. So that's uncertainty. You're uncertain what to do. Now, similarity is that people are more inclined to follow the lead of others who are similar. So here's how we apply this. Let's say using getting more listings as an example. So when you meet with people, be prepared to provide a list of others in their neighborhood or community, hopefully people of influence who have used you or your company, right? If so-and-so listed with me, you should too. So share with them about others that made a decision you'd like them to make. And then, during a listing appointment, share a success story. right? It's not brain surgery, and that's one thing that's really fun with language of sales. When you're first learning it, imagine, did you ever take learning a foreign language, how hard it was at the beginning? So language of sales is kind of the same thing. You're going to learn a different way of communicating or doing things that you haven't done before. So just understand, it might not be real easy at first, and then after you do it, Diana doesn't think, I'm going to use a language pattern on everybody in the audience right now. It's just normal, and it'll be normal for you if you play the game the way we play it, and it's why so many of us took it over and over when we did. So during a listing appointment, share a success story about people who listed with you. You can say, you know, when the Joneses across the street priced the home to sell at my price, it sold in 10 days, and that was important to them. You can use it regarding commission. You can say, you know, the Johnsons over on May Street, when we listed their house, we were talking about 5 or 6%, and we decided to do 7 because it's going to help with the marketing of the property and get the other agents really excited about showing the property. So, you know, the Johnsons did really good. We sold their house in 15 days. So maybe instead of going with a low ball, maybe we should put a commission on your home that's going to help it sell for more. You could do it regarding staging the home. I know nobody wants to stage their home, and yet when we staged the house across the street from you, it sold in 10 days, and that's a big part of getting the job done. So not just saying this is what you should do, but using social proof to move people is a good way to do it. And ultimately what you're trying to say, using a listing as an example, the Joneses use the Wexler Group, maybe you should too, right? Or you know, Bob and Mary bought a house in that neighborhood. If you like that neighborhood, maybe you should too. So another quick example might be door knocking, right? If you door knock before an open house and invite the neighbors in, you know, I mean, here's a script. You know, Mr. Johnson, I just called because so many of the neighbors are committed to helping John and Nancy get top dollar for their home that they asked if they could have private viewings. So what I'm doing is all the neighbors are coming over at 1, and then we'll let the public in at 2 or 2:30. So it would be nice. Why don't you just come over at 1 o'clock? All your neighbors are probably going to be there anyways. You guys can all hang out and see that. You've always wondered what their house was like anyhow. This would be a good chance for you to see the Johnson's house. So you're using that social proof that it's a great thing to do by the fact that the other neighbors are doing it. And again, door knocking or over a phone, it would be the same thing. Right after you negotiate and sell a home, if you call and say, we just sold a house in your neighborhood, did you know the Smiths over on ABC Street, we just got them X price. Who would you know that might be considering buying or selling? Are you personally interested in buying or selling a home at this time? So again, you can use the social proof to get a lot farther. We're going to probably go for maybe 10 more minutes at the most, just so anybody who's on the run. This is worth it. Your lunch can wait. If you have an appointment, I don't know what to tell you. I'm never late to appointments, but you can figure something out. All right, so you get the idea of social proof, right? Knowing how well it's working for the Joneses is a good way for it to work to you, okay? Always ask the client, who do you know like yourself that's a strategic thinker and wants to make the most of the real estate? Let me say this differently. So when you're working with clients, one of the things you want to say is, who do you know like you that I might be able to work with? And what that does is it causes them to think of other people you can help. And when you call that referral, you would use, the Johnsons said that you guys kind of think the same, and they just hired me to sell their house. Okay? So this is being recorded, and I think there's going to be opportunities for you to rewatch it. So I know I'm going fast. I'm trying to stick to our time. And the second or third time through will be even better, I can promise you that. All right, so I hope that gives you an idea of how you could use that method in a lot of situations. In the Language of Sales course, we'll spend about 40 minutes teaching you something new, applying it. We'll actually have you interact and share to make sure you really understand it. And then we do assign you homework on how you can reinforce it. Just like when you took a foreign language, they didn't just teach it in school and you went home. You had to work on it. Language of Sales is the same way. So, you know, it's funny, I was thinking there's some other social proof conversations, right? A lot of top performers in our company and their teams, like the Loken Group, have taken the Language of Sales course. In fact, Lance, I was with Lance last night. They take it over and over. His team takes it over and over. He's asked me when it starts again. That's a social proof conversation that we just had, isn't it? I just shared with you and shared with someone selling 1,700 homes a year does language of sales, maybe you should consider doing language of sales. Diana, Gary, Tony DeCello, Chris Heller, all of them have been through or understand and learn the concepts of language of sales. Look at the success they have. So I just want you to know the best communicators know that investing your time and resources in mastering language skills gives you an enormous payoff. It's better than anything else you're spending your money on. Invest in you getting better or your team members getting better. I can tell you my team, almost everyone on my team is about to go through it for the 3rd time. And I mean, I don't give them a discount. They have to sign up like everybody else, but they keep taking it over and over, and our team's kicking butt, so it really works. So here's the invitation to you. Language of Sales starts January 10th. It's 12 weeks. It's every Wednesday. I think we skip a Wednesday for family reunion, things like that, but it'll go about a 12-week period. The normal price is $396. We keep changing it. I think we should keep raising it, not lowering it. It's $396, and that covers the whole 12 weeks. After each session, you're going to get a copy of the webinar, of the notes, of everything, and the people who really get a lot out of it listen to it or go through it a second time on their own, at least. I used to do 2 or 3, depending on how well I understood the concept. So just for this call only, just for you, and only until December 24th, I had to get this approved by Diana, I have a web code you can use. If you go to MAPSLOS, MAPSLOS.com, click on register, and it'll ask you if you have a code. I'm about to give you the secret code that will disappear on 12/24. So don't act like a real estate agent and think, should I or shouldn't I? The minute we're done, go on your, if you want to come play with us, go on your computer and sign up right now. Just get it done. Come play with us. If you thought Social Proof was good, wait till you see some of the others, because Social Proof isn't even the best one. So you'll really love it. So here's the web code. It's WB20. So where it asks you for the code, put in WB20. I think that's all I have to share. It's mapslos.com. Here, I'm going to aim you. Hopefully you can see this. This is very high tech. There's the information. There's the PowerPoint right there. It's very high tech. And please come join us. Come play with us. I hope you have a great day. I hope you use Social Proof right now and get things rolling. And if there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate. Feel free to just email me. It's ron@ronwexler.com. I love sharing coaching. If you have specific questions, I have no problem answering them. And I appreciate you all coming to play with me, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and hopefully we'll see you all in January. Take care and go get them.